In this video, you are going to learn how you can create the sparks effect with the help of Niagara in Unreal Engine. As you guys can see on the screen, we are going to replicate this effect and you can create some really good looking sparks with the help of glow and color as well. So without any delay, let's jump into Unreal Engine. So now we are into Unreal Engine. I have created a blank scene here. I am continuing my setup which I have created for Niagara particles as well. So let's just go to content raw and let's just start creating the sparks here. So I'm going to go to Niagara motion here and I'm going to go to our right click and create a new folder called Niagara. So let's just create a new folder called Niagara here and I'm going to right click and create a new Niagara system here. Now, there are lots of templates that Unreal Engine provides you basically, and you can use them in order to create different type of effects with the help of Niagara system. Now, there are like directional burst is there, then directional burst with motion blur is there, then there is a fountain, there is a hanging particulates. So there are lots of stuff that you can use here. Now, what I am going to do, I am going to select my directional burst here. Okay, you can see we are getting this sparks type of effect. We are going to make it much more better, so don't worry about it. And just click on create and you can see our new Niagara system is created here. So we are going to rename this to, let's say, sparks here. And now I'm going to double click it here and now you can see we are getting this sparks here. You can see the result here as well. So let's just do one thing. Let's just save this and also add it to our scene here as well. So I'm going to just drag and drop my sparks here and you can see now we are getting this spark. So let's just move it upwards here. Okay, and now you can see we are getting this sparks here. Okay, but right now you can see it's only emitting one time only. So I need to again and again auto activate this. So if I auto activate this again here, you can see we can see some sparks that are flowing around. Okay, they are bursting with the help of directional, but I want it to be the lifetime. So I am just going to double click it here. We are going to just take this here as well. And now let's just explore all the options here. So in order to get the burst to be in the lifetime loop, what you need to do, you need to go to your properties here and here you can see we have this loop duration set to fixed here. So what I am going to do, I'm going to do infinite here. Okay, so loop duration mode will be infinite and I don't want the loop behavior to be once. I want this to be infinite as well. And now I can loop the duration as well. So let's say 5 seconds and let's just save this. And if I go here, you can see right now it's not working here, but you can see after 5 seconds, it is going to get burst here. Okay, so after 5 seconds, it is going to get burst. But let's say you want it to be every 1 second, then you can do that as well. And now you can see we are bursting particles every 1 second here. Okay, now I am going to just select my post process volume and press the G key here. So I'm going to hide all the stuff and now you can see the result. So let's just zoom in here and now you can see the result here. Okay, so this is looking nice, but our particles are going way forward here. So we need to adjust the lifetime here as well. So in order to do it, what you need to do, you need to go to initialize particle and here you can see our lifetime is here. So let's just start with the lifetime here. Okay, so let's just change the lifetime to, let's say, maybe 0.221. Let's just save this and let's just see the result. And now you can see we are getting this sparks here. This is looking nice. Now let's just explore more menu here. Now we are having this color. So let's just change the color here as well. So let's just do something like this. Okay. Let's just take it to somewhat orangish color. Let's just press OK. Save it. And now you can see the result here as well. Okay. This is looking nice here. So what I am going to do, I am going to go to sparks again. And now I'm going to make sure that it glows. In order to give that glow, you need to increase the value here to like 5 or 3, something like that. You need to go above 1 in order to get that glow. Okay, so let's just save this. And now you can see we are getting that glow, but we are not seeing that much because we are using the post-process volume. So let's just go to bloom. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that intensity is somewhat high so we can see that as well. And now you can see the effect here as well. See, so this is looking good. Now I'm going to go to sparks again. You can take it to much more higher value as well. So let's just say if I take it to 7 here. Okay, I am going to do something like this, and I'm going to save this again. And if I go here, now you can see we are getting this proper sparks here. Okay. So you can see the result here as well. This is looking nice. We can increase the particles as well. Okay. In order to do that, you can also switch to GPU render engine if you want to do that as well. But I am not going to switch to GPU right now. I am just going to make sure that it is set to CPU only, because we are not going to burst that much particles because sparks are not that much in quantity. Now let's just go to initialize particle again. Now you can see here we are having this sprite size. So sprite size is basically this size, and it is right now set to not uniform. So if I just reset it here, you can see right now it's 10 by 10. So you can see here, if I go here, you can see we are getting this circles here. Okay. So that is what we called uniform here. But if I press Ctrl Z again, you can see we are having this minimum and maximum of width and height here. So let's just change this to maybe 0.5 and here maybe to 1. Okay. And now you can see the result, and we are getting this spark effect now, because now we have just resized the sprite size in non-directional way. Okay. So you can do that as well. Now here you can see we are having this velocity, drag, gravity, solver force and velocity. So you can play with velocity as well. Now what is velocity? So there is a cone, and from cone these particles are basically giving that shape here. Okay. So let me show you. If I decrease the cone to 10, you can see our cone is reduced here. So now you can see we are getting this different type of result in the sparks here. Okay. But if I take my cone angle to, let's say, 100 here, you can see our sparks are now bigger in the size. Okay, they are now bursting with the bigger cone angle here. So you can play with the cone angle in order to get your result. So let me just switch this to maybe 25. Okay, then you can set the velocity as well. So if I say minimum velocity of 400, now you can see it's bit faster here. Okay, we are getting this faster result of the sparks. Okay, let me just increase the cone angle here as well to, let's say, 40. And yeah, I am liking this result much more. Okay, so this is done. Now what I can do, I can just disable this stuff here, so I can show you what each and every parameter is doing. Okay, so if I save this here, and I'm just going to make sure that I am having this solver and force velocity. Okay, right now, and I'm going to turn off all the stuff apart from velocity. So you can see our particles are going in this direction because our velocity is set in this direction. Okay. And there is no gravity here, so it's not falling down. So in order to fall down your particles, you need to enable the gravity force. And as soon as I do it, you can see now our particles is going downwards here. Okay. If I zoom here, you can see the result. Now what this drag does, this drag reduces the speed of your particles and make it more stable. So if you find that your particles are going way out of control, then you can add the drag effect. It will also reduce the particle force as well, but it will make the particles slow as well and stable as well. Okay, so it's always a good idea to add some drag, not that much. So we are going to just change these values to maybe 0.7 to 1. Okay, and let's just save this. And now you can see the result here as well, and we are getting some beautiful sparks. Okay, now what I can do, I can scale the color as well. So you can see we are getting this transparency in the scale here from this color, so which is 1 opacity to 0. So that's the reason we are getting this opacity result here. Okay, you can play with this as well. Then there is scales right size by speed. Okay, so we are getting this curve here, which is indicating our speed. So it starts with 0, then it goes to 1, and then it gets stable when they dies basically. Okay, so that's the reason you are getting this transparent effect here. So right now you can see we are getting this result, but we are not getting the collision here. So in order to get a collision, we need to add a collision node here. So let's just go to Sparks. Let's just click on particle update here, and let's just type collision. And as soon as I do it, you can see we are getting this collision here. Okay. And if I go into Sparks right now, and now you can see we are basically having this result here. So let me just delete this spark. Okay, so you can see we are getting this result here. Okay, our particles are bouncing off. I'm using basically two sparks here. So you can see the result. We are getting these particles which are bouncing off here. Okay, so in order to reduce the bounciness effect, you can go to sparks as well. And here you will find the restitution. So if I decrease this to, let's say, 0.3 here, and if I go to sparks again, now you can see we are not getting that much bounce here. Okay, in order to visualize it more clearly, what you can do, you can go to initialize particle as well, and you can change the lifetime minimum maybe to 0.4 seconds. So we can increase this here, and if I go here now, you can see the result is looking beautiful. Okay, but right now the only problem is facing IM, that is basically what you can see here. If I zoom in here, okay, you can see we are getting this ghosting effect here. Now in order to get rid of this, what you need to do, you need to change your console command here. So let's just type r dot anti-aliasing method. Okay, so if I press the spacebar, you can see 0 is off, 1 is fast, 2 is TAA temporal anti-aliasing, 3 is multi-sample, and 4th is temporal super resolution, which is used for rendering. But right now I don't want this because right now it's using the 4, okay, which is temporal super resolution, but I'm going to switch it to temporal anti-aliasing, which is 2 here. Okay, and if I press enter, now you can see our ghosting effect is gone here, and this is looking really good. So what you can do, you can press Ctrl D and you can add more particles as well. Okay, and you can shift it backwards. So you can now see we are getting this multiple burst effect. Okay, so you can do this as well. Okay, if I hide both of this, now I'm getting only this one. Okay, if I hide this, I now am getting this burst only. Okay, so you can play with all the settings here and get different type of sparks result. So creating sparks is really easy, and this is just the beginning. I am going to cover much more topics like smoke with the help of Niagara. Then we are going to create a volcano as well with the help of Niagara fluid. So stay tuned with me with this videos. If you like this video, please press that like button, share it with your friends who wants to learn Unreal Engine, and subscribe to my video. I will see you next time. Till then, bye bye guys. Take care.